Hi, guys. Good morning. This is Bittersweet. This is our last story that you'll be listening to as a second grader. We made it to lesson 30. Our story this week is titled Now and Ben. And if you can see here, our paratext is a model citizen. And if you look at the cover of both of those books, you might recognize who we're going to be learning about. And that is Benjamin Franklin. So here are some vocabulary words we will see in our story. There are 8 new words. Let's go through them. Inventions. Wheels are one of the inventions that we use in many different ways. And there's a picture of rollerblades, but wheels are on a lot of other things. But that is an invention. And I know Nina just got a new pair of rollerblades. Remarkable. The telephone is a remarkable invention that lets you talk to people. Designed. These boys designed and built a truck from blocks that snap together. Amounts. These light bulbs give off different amounts of light. Accomplishments. One of Ben Franklin's many accomplishments was bifocal glasses to see near and far. So those look a little different. Bifocals, you can usually see a little line in the lens where you look out of. That's called the lens. So like the glasses I wear, I don't have a little line there. I don't have bifocals. I just have regular glasses. Achieve. Wanting to succeed helped Ben achieve or reach his goals. This is a statue of Ben. So achieve is just a fancy word for reach. Composed. Beethoven is famous for the beautiful music he composed or wrote. So composed is a fancy word for wrote. Result. When a musician plays the harmonica, beautiful music is the result. So I looked at that and I thought it said harmonica at first. So our story is going to show you what an harmonica is if you've never heard of that before. Okay, so based off of the title of our stories this week and our vocabulary, what do you think our genre is going to be? Okay, let's see. Our genre, definitely informational text. We are going to be learning facts about a topic, and our topic is Benjamin Franklin. It looks by the title of our story that that's an illustration. Usually, informational text has photographs, so I don't know. We might see photographs throughout the story, but these illustrations might be giving us clues, and they're just a drawing of what really is the fact that we'll be learning about in the information. Okay, here is our author and illustrator, Gene Barretta. Benjamin Franklin is one of Gene Barretta's heroes. Like his hero, Mr. Barretta is a writer and makes his home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He even named his son Benjamin. Sometimes when Mr. Barretta visits schools to talk about his book, Now and Ben, an actor dressed as Benjamin Franklin goes with him. How cool is that? Okay, so here's your essential question. Why might a person from long ago still be important today? So we learn about a lot of important people when we're in school. Just in February, we learned about Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks for Black History Month. We learn a lot about Native Americans in November, and just a lot of people in general, a lot of authors during March is Reading Month. So why might we study those people and want to learn about their life? That is your essential question as an assignment today. So you can pause right now and go do that, or listen to the story and then do that when you're done. So this is Now and Ben, the modern inventions of Ben Franklin. Now and then. We think about Ben, Dr. Benjamin Franklin to be precise, and we think about his many inventions. Inventions he originated more than 200 years ago. It was as if Ben could see into the future. Almost everything he created is still around today. For instance, now our newspapers are filled with illustrations. Ben was the first to print a political cartoon in America. The cartoon encouraged the American colonies to join together to die like the disconnected snake. To join together or die like the disconnected snake. So that's just comparing that back then, 200 years ago, Ben drew an illustration, a cartoon in the newspaper, and we still have that today in our newspapers. We have cartoons and drawings. So it looks like our whole story is going to be comparing what we do now to what Ben did 200 years ago. Now our world relies on electricity. In the 18th century, many people believed that lightning was an act of anger or punishment from God. Ben was one of the scientists who discovered the true nature of electricity and how to use it. He learned that lightning is electricity when he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. Now, many buildings and homes use lightning rods to protect against lightning strikes. Ben invented the lightning rod and was the first to use it. The pointed iron rod acts like a magnet and grabs an approaching lightning bolt from the sky before it can strike the rooftop. The electricity then travels safely down a long wire into the ground. It prevents fires and keeps dangerous amounts of electricity away from the house. Now, this gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's the long stick that helps grab items from out of reach places. I haven't really seen it in a grocery store, but more of a clothing or retail store. I've used it to grab things off the top shelf. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a very long arm. So again, this is an illustration, but it's showing us a fact of what Ben did. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. I'm actually going to go over here and read this because these go together. See the arrow? I'm not going to read this whole page down. So let me read that again. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. That's what happens now. Ben invented things even when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and feet. So he did that way before we had a thing called flippers. Now, ships travel across the Gulf Stream to take advantage of the faster current. Ben mastered, chartered, and publicized the Gulf Stream during the 8 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. Now we understand and accept the benefits of vitamin C. Ben was an early promoter of eating citrus fruits to help prevent a disease called scurvy. Now for a musical interlude. Ben invented the glass harmonica. He was able to create music by simply touching his wet fingers to a row of spinning glass bowls. Mozart and Beethoven were so moved by the sounds that they composed for the instrument. Today, glass harmonicas are very rare. You are more likely to find one in a museum than in a music store. And there you go. You can see this would be a diagram explaining what the harmonica looks like and these different parts of it. Now, chairs come in all shapes and sizes. Ben designed 2 chairs that are still very useful. The writing chair combined a desk and a chair into one. The library chair was a combination chair and stepladder. Definitely, we've seen both of those at Arno School. Now, everyone has seen a rocking chair, but not many have seen Dr. Franklin's rocking chairs. Ben invented one rocking chair with a fan on top and one that churned butter. That means made butter. Now, every year we observe daylight savings time, which means we set our clocks ahead 1 hour in the springtime. As a result, it stays darker longer in the morning when most people are sleeping and stays light longer on the end of the day so we can save more energy. In the fall, we returned the clocks to standard time. Ben suggested this idea in one of his essays as a way to save money by burning fewer candles. Farmers could also gain more work time in the evening. Daylight savings time was not officially practiced until World War I, more than 100 years later. As for clocks, Ben designed the first clock with a second hand. Remember, that's that clock that moves really quickly, 60 seconds around the clock. Now, every automobile has an odometer to measure the distance it travels. Ben invented the odometer when he was a postmaster general so he could measure his postal routes. So that's kind of like a Fitbit that measures your steps. So it measures how long you go in a car, how many miles the car drives. That's the odometer. Now, almost every large community includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize the first of each. Wow, and we really need all of those after we completed that community project. Remember, everyone made those buildings? We need all of those to have a successful community. Now and then, we owe thanks to Ben for his important inventions, but many would agree that his greatest accomplishments came in the form of documents that helped shape the world. Ben had a pivotal role in developing America's Constitution, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Treaty of Peace with England, and the Declaration of Independence. It's remarkable that one man could achieve so much in a lifetime. He has certainly helped to form the modern world. Will his contributions help to form the future? Wow, we really have used a lot of Benjamin Franklin's inventions in today. All right, I hope you enjoyed our very last story, you guys. I love reading to you. Have a great day.